Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allicia J, i.e. the walking, talking baby doll. And hopefully I'm here to give you a good day or a better day. Okay? Okay. So today I came across, I think I've seen it on two channels. I've seen it on Exoticals United, and I've also seen it on Cerebral Talks page, and it's dealing with Nara Smith and Onezwa, which are two content creators that they have children, so they have like a family lifestyle type of based content. And the thing that they have the most similar is they both make food or things from scratch. So, and I mean, she still kind of can, but I mean, I don't know. The next, I had to run through these. Journal about the platform of choice. Prioritize the platform that will pay you and connect you to brands, etc. So you could have like 2-3 platforms going, but try to figure out the ones that are going to be able to pay you, or how they're going to be able to pay you. Some of these platforms, they have such strict guidelines now. Don't worry about getting paid from them. Tell your people, hey, hit this Cashapp, hit this Zelle, Venmo, whatever. And she seems to have a decent following to do that. Sell t-shirts, sell something, a mug. I don't care. Since you're in like culinary arts or whatever, and old method culinary arts, sell a different type of steaming basket, things like that, if you can. You know, 1 or 2 products. And you know, have your money coming in like that, so you don't always have to rely on brands. You don't always have to rely on, you know, whatever. Don't they make fufu in Africa? So yeah, you like steaming baskets. Make your own steaming baskets or something. It's like you gotta find a way. I know it's a lot of hard work, but content creation alone, it's not gonna be easy. It's hard work. So that's just one. Journal about these. Look up on YouTube tons of videos, how to get that SEO, how to do tricky stuff. And I know it's a lot of content where gurus are telling you like the same old goofy ass rhetoric, but really, like, if you keep listening, every now and again you will find a person who's gonna tell you like the real how to like trend. And if you're not successful overnight with that, that's okay. Keep trying different things, and that's how you can kind of just write everything down, posting times, things that work, and yeah. Next thing, beat them with quality. So if you look at Nara Smith videos, she has really great quality. If I was that into Nara Smith, I would be trying to figure out what camera is she using, what lens, what lighting, what, you know, look at it that hard. Like, you really have to study that hard into detail if you want to like be getting the same numbers. Colorism and things like this is always going to play a part. I'm not going to even lie to you. Systematic oppression, using platforms of other races of people, right? That's always going to play a part in your success. So I'm not going to pretend like that's not real. But what I'm saying is, you have to get tricky with it. You have to get tricky with it. I saw somebody comment the other day. They said, you know what, I'm about to start being like these creators who are UGC creators who only put on gloves and show you the product. So TikTok cannot tell what my race is, because we know that TikTok can clearly tell what our race is or what color we have. I know for a fact TikTok can tell what color hair I have. And what does that mean? And how many people they're going to put the video out to. So I've tested it out. All right. So it's true, but eat them with quality. Like I said, modernize your skills. Somewhere in her video she said the type of cooking style that she does is very nostalgic. Tell stories on top of your videos. about when you were a kid, about when you learned this recipe. You could use that nostalgic trigger to really bring in a bigger audience instead of focus on your opponent. Your opponent really doesn't talk too much about herself and connect with her audience like that, I don't think. Every now and again she does, but Nara Smith, she doesn't talk about like all of her business like that. You could be that person that's like, hey, I'm a South African girly, I'm gonna tell all my business. You have to give a little bit in this social media conundrum to get anything out of it. You can't just be like shy-ish, half off the screen, and think that it's gonna really pay out for you. It's only a few creators that, you know, I can actually say have monetized just from being pretty and cutting on the camera. They will get like, don't get me wrong, they'll get views, they might get engagement, and they might get followers, but they won't actually. Sometimes people don't know what to do with all that. So, like I said, you have to educate yourself. Look into these marketing books. Look into all these things. And try to figure out strategies. Hooks. Do you have great hooks on your stuff? Are you drawing people in? Can you edit your videos down to 30 seconds? What's the best performing video? All of that. You gotta look at all of that. And if you want to study your opponent and start to smoke them out, look at how she's doing it, when she's doing it. If her advantage is the American market, your advantage is over here, South Africa, baby. So stay what you have, okay? Don't take that for granted. Let's see. Next thing I wanted to say is, oh yeah, so you can modernize your skills that you say are nostalgic or coming off very nostalgic, but try to put a twist on it. So if you have a recipe that is very known in South Africa, put a twist on it, and you could do it to either irk people's nerves, like, you know, people are going to be outraged by it, or you could do it to actually like say this is a good replacement and a lot of people wouldn't know, or oh, this is my take on this recipe that somebody I know used to make, or that but it has to be like a very popular dish, like a main soulful dish of your location, right? Do something like that, and you'll actually notice that the people in your own country be like, oh, why she make the food like that? Oh, why she added peas? Oh, why she did this? Or oh, why you like. That will get you trending for a while. People get really upset about things that are like what they're used to, and like somebody saying it's slightly different or whatever. Like, here's the vegan version of this. Like, just whatever. And sometimes, depending on like where you live it and stuff, you know how to make it controversial, which leads into the next point. Controversy, or jump onto a topic that's about to trend, or a person that's trending. So if you have like, if you're looking into Nara Smith and the stuff that Nara Smith doing, I would actually start to hold back, wait till Nara Smith posts like 5 videos, and then I would go back and like each of those videos I would make like two times the videos that Nara Smith made about those videos. I would actually be going I hate to say this, but I never follow through with this because my brain is all over the place. But you can find a person, if you come across a girl that you like on Instagram or on TikTok or whatever, save the profile some kind of way, right? And then say, wow, I like her content, I like what she's doing. How can I do exactly what she's doing? There's been times where I've actually watched a live that's boring as hell, but I'll sit there and watch the live just to see what kind of camera the girl is using. And then the camera would be like, it's just like a updated iPhone or some shit. And I'd be like, oh, that's what it is? Pointing to a mirror. And you're seeing her reflection in the mirror doing her makeup. I'd be like, oh, I like the way this looks. So I have done shit like that. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people do at times. But I didn't figure out where people's apartments is, not necessarily for stalking purposes, but just being like, oh, I would like to live in an apartment like that, and get the name of the apartment, architecture type, stuff like that. So you can actually figure things out pretty easily if you just pay attention to every single detail and take your time. I've learned that some people actually have had rags to riches stories, and I come in when I'm seeing all of their riches. But if I scroll all the way back, I'll see a story of them where it's like they're talking about how, yeah, my parents ain't had no money. I had to go and do this on my own, you know. And then I just found my way into these avenues or whatever like that, doing social media. So the money is out here on social media. It's just hard to organize that because it's different than a traditional 9 to 5. So I feel y'all's pain, but like I said, I'm just trying to give some solutions here as to what you can do. So you can talk about a person who is South African and their favorite food. Make that shit from scratch, but make it as soon as they go trending within that same day. Or talk about it. Talk about what you think about it while you're cooking a soup or something, or cutting some green beans. You don't even have to prepare a whole meal. You just about to prepare something for the night to cook for yourself. So just start cutting some green beans, cutting some cabbage, and then, look at people who's in the food sector that they will be prepping cabbage or something, or prepping food, and they'll tell you, like, they'll talk about something controversial or whatever going on in their country, and then they'll say, oh, by the way, you make sure you cut the cabbage this way, and then flavor it. And then they cut back to talking about what they're talking about. So it's still on the food, but not at the same time. You have to talk about the trend real soon. And I would talk about controversy in the food sector. I would, immediately. Something like that. Okay, so you really copy a person entirely. So all of the people who are watching this channel, who appreciate this channel, a good tip is to, if you see somebody that you really like what they're doing, just copy them. Don't copy them verbatim, all right? Like, put your stuff on it. Be inspired by it, right? Not copy it, but be inspired by it. But if you really just wanted to get your feet wet and start something, and then you're going to transform into uniquely yourself, then do that by looking at what someone posts on Instagram. Start copying all the same shit. Same poses, the same style, just about the same whatever, and then you'll eventually kind of find who you are. You shouldn't be copying them every single picture every single day. You could do that, but just try to, just to get it kicked off, you could literally copy everything verbatim and twist it up. Because it's not like you're going to have the same outfits. You don't want to be the person, but, mimic that person. All right, let me see. And the last tip that I'm going to put in this is be fluid, but stick to one exact thing that has yielded for you. So she's into the whole food thing, right? I keep going back to that. Stay within that niche. Stay there, right? But you want to be fluid, okay? So every time we don't have to see you picking berries, or every time we don't have to see you dressed very, maybe dress in some athletic attire, dress in a pretty cottage dress. You could actually bait people to watch your content. I hate to say stuff like this, but you could bait people into watching your material by, I'm not saying Nara Smith does this, I'm not sure, but you could bait even men to watch your material by thinking that the dress is more revealing in the thumbnail than it is, things like that. Or it depends on, you have to get divisive with, dark psychology. You can't be afraid of it. You can't be afraid of it, especially if you feel like you're hurt and you need to, you're the underdog and you want to like find your way up. Then you can't be afraid of dark psychology and using it to your best of your abilities. All right? As long as you're not hurting people, okay, we're good. So, and then once you didn't have, like, you literally have a whole database of what works for you. So the main things that on her page has hit big numbers, literally copy that shit. I was watching a white content creator on TikTok who he seems very successful just by being like attractive and doing trending sounds and stuff like that. He literally said, man, he was talking to another guy in his comments. He was like, dude, once you like find a video that works and it trends and it works for you, he was like, I don't care what you do. If you wearing that jacket, wear the same jacket. Keep wearing it. If you wearing a hoodie, keep wearing hoodies. If the lighting is this way, keep the lighting that way. If your hair was this way, keep your hair that way. If your video had a particular sound, triple down on that sound like 3-4 times, which I've noticed that when people have, and myself as well, if you find a sound and your video gets more views than normal and it's a trending sound, use that trending sound for the next 3 days, at least 3 times on separate videos. You gotta know how to fight these platforms. Like I say, things will never really be the way that we want them to be as black content creators, because we refuse to get the buying power to have platform, stores or some type. It's like we're missing the whole point. You need to have buying power in a country, in a place, if you really want to your voice heard, so to speak. And just for the success of your people, putting that and prioritizing that, and then having platforms where, I don't want to say they feel this way, but they feel like, damn, it's a little bit more difficult to achieve on this platform because it mostly prioritizes us and our businesses and our kids doing the dances and things like that. These apps would be nothing without us, and I understand the struggle of trying to beat the algorithm and all of that as a creator. I could do more videos on that, and anyone who's going through that, again, I'm not trying to diminish your feelings because I do feel like they're valid, but you have to, like, you gotta fucking punch the wall to tear it down, man. I don't know. Like, you have to do something to where you are letting your emotions and things out, but you have to channel something inside of you to say, I don't care if I'm this, I don't care if I'm that, I don't care what someone back then told me I could be or could not be. I'm gonna do the shit anyways, and I'm gonna do it better than them. Like, you gotta feel like that. You gotta feel like that, all right, about yourself and what you're putting out there in the world. So that was pretty much the end of the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tell me what you think. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me, have you ever felt this way about social media and content creation or being an influencer? What are some tips you would give to Onezwa? What are some critiques you would give to Nara Smith? Or what do you feel about Nara Smith's content? And I'll catch you on the next one.